whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe this fine Tuesday evening. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Tuesdays on channel gboot2786. I'm glad to say we're also on my backup channel, Gavin Richard. We're also on Facebook, same name, and on Periscope via Twitter, GavinRich2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. On tonight's topic, this has a double meaning, the Gruden Grinder. If you follow ESPN, you know why I say that. We also are going to be talking about some local stuff here in my city, some controversy that's going on. Sir Richard Branson, I should say, donning the St. Aug drum major colors. Controversy ensues. And also, we will be discussing redevelopment in New Orleans East, real or fake. If you guys would like to donate to the Cash App, please hit that at the bottom. You see it rotating right there on the ticker. Gavin RichardEsq is the Cash App. The GooglePay and PayPal are the same as the email, gavin.grich1@gmail.com, and Zelle via the phone number 504-289-4002. Also, if you want to continue to support me, if you are a Black-owned business, I want to promote your business. We do advertisement here, so I will do a video for you all to advertise for your products if you have any. So you can hit me up for any rates that you would like. Of course, we mentioned the Patreon earlier if you want to support premium content. I'll certainly have blogs and stuff that I will upload there. I certainly will upload some stuff this week for my Patreon subscribers. That will be done before the end of the week. It takes a lot of work to keep this channel going, guys. So that's why we always push for support. We also have the seasoning company. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nani's goes great with every dish. That's Nani'sCreoleBlends.com. That is our new spice and seasoning company. We'll be getting those in store soon. So you please check out that website. And also, you can download Video Soul. That's my latest single that I released last month. I hope you all will enjoy it. You can stream it on Spotify right now, or actually hit that iTunes icon and go purchase it. And speaking of which, before we got to play our theme song, which is Gotta Get On Up. Before we get on down, we always got to get on up. So I'm the host with the most, Gavin Richard, on channel gboot2786, and we will get started right after these commercial messages.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Gotta get on up. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, everybody? How you doing this evening? Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Of course, the place to be is right here with me on channel GBoo2786. You know, as I'm looking, guys, because I'm doing this via StreamYard, and I can see, okay, so I see my broadcast on Twitter, but for a while, and for whatever reasoning, I wasn't seeing it. It wasn't connecting. And, you know, I think somebody was playing games with it because, you know, we keep it real on this channel. We say things, obviously, that will stir the hornet's nest, if we will. And frankly, that means I'm doing good. I'm not getting paid for it, unfortunately, but it means I'm drawing attention to myself. And I can see the crowd of people coming in because we got a host of people in the comment section, some heavy hitters like Black Voltron. I see Black Voltron, Byron B, Tylene. I see Crystal, Jewel. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. I've invited a few friends to come on and check out the channel. But we have a bunch of people that are listening. I know we have more than 13 people that are listening. I just know it because this channel keeps growing every day. I've actually had my subscribers increase. Sometimes I've seen people be unsubscribed, and I think that has something to do with the message that we're carrying. But hey, I'm doing something right. You know, Dr. King was arrested hundreds of times, dozen more than once, obviously, more than even 10 times. So obviously you're doing something, not that I compare myself to Dr. King, but I'm doing something good if I'm drawing attention from the powers that be. So thank you all for the continued support. I'm going to get right into it because I don't want this to be a long live stream. What's up there, Ashon Lewis, Rashana? I see you, Kid Gravity. Hey, Sean Lewis, what's up, buddy? Let's go ahead, I guess, and get right into what we were going to talk about. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. So let's just get into it. The Gruden Grinder. Now, there's a reason, of course, why I call it the Gruden Grinder. And if you know and follow football, if you've ever watched ESPN, remember John Gruden, coincidentally, when he was the color commentator for ESPN, he had a segment called the Gruden Grinder, talking about, and that was an award that they gave out, I believe, at the end of the game to the running back or the best player who grinded out the football. Well, John Gruden has grinded himself out of football today, as on yesterday evening it was reported that John Gruden was stepping down as the Raiders head coach. This was all in wake because of some racial remarks. Now, this is how it started. Back on Friday, it was reported by the New York Times that there were some emails that were sent back in 2011 between John Gruden and then the general manager of the Washington Redskins, Bruce Allen. And a guy by the name of Demarius Smith, John Gruden made remarks in regards to Gruden, this man's facial appearance, obviously with his lips. He said, Demarius Smith has the lips the size of Michelin tires. Now, I'm trying to actually find the original article, and it's here, but I want you to look here. Okay, so notice what they say. John Gruden resigns as Las Vegas Raiders head coach after report of anti-gay, misogynistic language used in emails. This is ESPN. Now, let's save that for right now, okay? Let's save that. Now, I got to go, and I hate when I got to keep switching back and forth. All right. Now, this is Demarius Smith. Okay. This is Demarius Smith. I know you can't see it right now, but this is Smith here. Okay. I said Demarius is Demarius Smith. Now, he is the executive director of the NFL Players Association. And a lot of people, from what I understand in the league, he's not very popular among the players. People don't like him because he concedes a lot of stuff. But back in 2011, now this is how the article reads. Raiders coach made racist comment about NFL players union chief. So as you read the New York Times, good, no ads are popping up, says that Gruden used this racist terms to denounce Demarius Smith, the executive director of the NFL Players Association, who is black, and had been facing opposition within the union to the extension of his contract. The email surfaced just hours before the players' representatives for the 32 teams voted to give Smith a fifth term as the union's leader, this time without having to hold a general election. Smith was not endorsed by the union's selection committee earlier this week, a sign that he was facing unusually stiff opposition within his own ranks. Some players have accused Smith of being too conciliatory to the league. There is reason to believe the league's owners prefer that he stay, and such an inflammatory email, first reported by the Wall Street Journal and confirmed by the New York Times, complicated the vote for players who oppose Smith. Now, the email was written in 2011 between Gruden, who's white, and Bruce Allen, as I stated earlier. And Demorius Smith has a lip size of Michelin tires, Gruden wrote about the exchange in the email. Now, what's interesting about this, when Gruden was confronted, he stated he didn't remember typing it. But Gruden said he apologized for it anyway and tried to move on. He even gave his press conference. I'm going to see if I can pull that out for you right quick. And Gruden said, "I'm not a racist." Now, actions speak louder than words. I'm going to get into the real reason why I believe he was fired in a second. I can tell you, and I'll get into that in a second, but I want you to just look at this press conference and look at his body language.
It's a tough loss for our team. I'd like to congratulate the Bears. A very physical team, good defensive team. Way too many penalties, I think. When you have 8 holding penalties and you struggle in a short yardage situation, and field position is hard to come by, it's going to be a fist fight. And they won this one today. Congratulations to them. I think Jonathan Hankins is the only guy that didn't finish the game. He got hit in the back. Derek Carr hurt his neck a little bit, but was able to finish. With that said, I'll answer any questions I can.
John, some drop balls, penalties, like you mentioned, maybe a little bit of lack of focus to start that game. There's a lot that happened this week. Do you think any?
No, I can't speak for everybody. We had a touchdown call back. We had 2 holding penalties, and I can't speak for everybody, but they're a good football team on defense, and they're rallying around their young quarterback with a new play caller, and they ran the ball extremely well. But I'm not going down that road.
Obviously, real easy for anybody else looking in to use that, but the reality is back-to-back clunkers that you go with your Chargers and the Bears. Is it just a collection of things?
Well, obviously, we're trying to find our right mix up front. And I'm not going to point to the offensive line, but it was Parker's first game starting today. Alex Leatherwood moved into right guard. And we're trying to find the right mix. We're struggling right now to run the football. And obviously, our pass protection has to get better as well. And we did drop some passes today that really hurt us.
I'm trying to get to the email thing. I don't know what the email stuff is.
They got to stop. We had some on defense that allowed them to continue drives as well. But, it all falls back on me.
John, obviously the offense did not perform well, but the defense did.
Capable of playing better. And like I said, it was a first game for Leatherwood inside, first game.
Coach Gruden, obviously this is not a game question. I just one question.
We know it's a brother. That voice sound like RZA.
Can the NFL and the Raiders,
the brother got to ask that,
be sure that there are not any other racial insensitive remarks by you out there in the atmosphere that could be published by the Washington Journal or any other publication?
All I can say is I'm not a racist. I can't tell you how sick I am. I apologize again to D. Smith, but I feel good about who I am and what I've done my entire life. And I apologize for the insensitive remarks. I had I had no racial intentions with those remarks at all. But yes, they can. I'm not like that at all. But I apologize. I don't want to keep addressing it.
Just my last question: have the NFL contacted you and what was their response?
I don't want to keep addressing it.
I have not had any contacts with them yet, but we'll see what happens here in the next few days.
I guess that's my question. Do you expect something to happen?
I'm not going to answer all these questions today. I think I've addressed it already. I can't remember a lot of the things that transpired 10 or 12 years ago, but I stand here in front of everybody apologizing. I know I'm not, I don't have an ounce of racism in me. I'm a guy that takes pride in leading people together, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of my life. And again, I apologize to D. Smith and anybody out there that that I have offended. Okay?
Okay. Now, he looked like he just wanted, stop asking me these damn questions. I want to move on. That's essentially what I gathered from listening to what he had to say. Now, let's look at John Gruden's football record. Okay, I want y'all to look at this. Oh, wait, he can't be racist. He's got a black serviceman holding his Super Bowl ring. Okay, so this is Wikipedia. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was a kid, when I was in high school, obviously I grew up on the Saints. I did love the Raiders, especially when Chucky was the coach. That 2001, 2000 season, during that time, from 2000, 2002, when the Raiders were actually good, they had Rich Gannon as quarterback. They had Jerry Rice and Tim Brown as wide receivers. They had Tyrone Wheatley as running back. I remember those guys. They had, I think, James Jett as the other receiver. I remember Charlie Woodson, the cornerback for the Raiders, legendary cornerback, Hall of Famer. I grew up with those guys. So I liked even when Rod Woodson, I think, joined the Raiders. That was cool back then. Remember when the Raiders had all of those 30-plus-year-old men playing on their team? And I think Gruden had left there at that point, because at that point, he became he went to Tampa Bay. He was traded. Now, he had a 40-win, 28-loss record, including the playoffs, as the coach with the Raiders by the time he was traded to Tampa Bay. And Al Davis traded him for 2 first-round picks in 02 and 03 and 2 second-round picks in 2002, 2004, plus $8 million in cash. Now, Davis, now what's interesting is that despite this record, when Al Davis was the owner, Davis wanted a more vertical passing attack than Gruden's, according to this horizontal pass attack, and the fact that Gruden's contract would expire a year later after the trade, and Davis's uncertainty over whether Gruden was worth as much money as his contract was sure to pay him. Gruden signed a 5-year contract with the Buccaneers, worth $17.5 million. And when he won that Super Bowl, and he was the youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl at the age of 39 at that time, but Mike Tomlin would surpass him. But Gruden came over and took over a defense that Tony Dungy had created. Dungy and Monty Kiffin created that cover 2 defense. And I remember it vividly. And Gruden even thanked Dungy for his contributions upon accepting the Lombardi Trophy, because Gruden knows that Dungy built that team. And at that point, the Buccaneers, now there's a reason why I'm getting to this. So from 2002 to 2008, he had a win-loss record with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of 57 wins and 55 losses. That includes playoffs. He never won any games in the playoffs other than that Super Bowl year. And he was finished 9-7. He had 3 losing seasons, and he had 4 winning seasons. Now, point making with all of this, after 10 years not being in the league, a decade, he's able to come back and coach the Oakland Raiders. And look at his record here. All right. Look at his record. He has this is how many wins and losses he has. Yeah, he has he's a winning percentage of 555, but he was able to come back after 10 years. See what I said? The Gruden Grinder for the best player of the week. After 10 years, Gruden comes back and to Mark Davis after Al Davis died. And you know, Al Davis, let me say this because DeVita said Al Davis was the biggest bigot. Al Davis, though, I could say this, Al Davis actually got a lot of black personnel in the Oakland Raiders. He drafted a bunch of black players, not that it means anything nowadays, because it's all we see, but coaches. He was one of the first to do that. He had a distinct relationship with Grambling, if I'm not mistaken, because a lot of the Grambling players, like Willie Brown, went up there. You know, Willie Brown is famous for the interception he returned for a touchdown in that Super Bowl against the Vikings. But point I'm making, so I'll just bring it up, but not to mention Art Shell being the first black coach, one of the first black coaches in for the Raiders when they were the Los Angeles Raiders, and also having Tom Flores. Yeah, you have Warren Sapp, exactly, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, and John Lynch. Booger McFarland. Who else was on that defense? Very interesting. That Super Bowl year they won, the Saints beat them twice. We beat Tampa twice. They were 12-4 that year. But Gruden, you know, they had Mike Allstott on the offense. Mike Allstott was a bad dude, bad fullback. That white boy could run over people. So you had all of those guys, Hall of Famers, by the way. That won. But $100 million. Now, do y'all think he was worth that? And plus, it's a 10-year, $100 million. And this is my point. One of the biggest contracts in the history of the league, which also included a no-trade clause, closing the loophole that saw him get traded earlier back in his first stint. So $100 million. What I think, now you see the email controversy, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But what I think happened, this is my opinion, this had nothing to do, guys, about racial injustice and championing the cause of black people, and he was wrong for this, because we all know white boys, all of us have worked with bigots. All of us have worked with racists. We work with people we don't like every day. You work with drug addicts. We work with alcoholics. You don't think somebody can go to work. Warren Dunn was running back, right, Darius, but Mike Allstott was the fullback. Brad Johnson was the quarterback. He was game manager. Wasn't a great quarterback. You know, Keyshawn Johnson, and Keyshawn was tearing his ass up. A lot of people have been saying stuff about Gruden. Remember, Antonio Brown was even talking about Gruden. Now, I don't know John Gruden personally and what's in his heart. I'm just being real. And my personal thing, yes, what he said was racist. I don't think he was fired, though, because of the racism. What he was fired for was two things, basically, ladies and gentlemen. And that is this. Let's go back and let's zoom in. What does it say here? Gruden. Now, look, at first it was how he talked about D. Smith, right? But notice here, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, the email controversy. They don't even mention it here. Look at this. I'm reading it. In October 2021, a league investigation into the Washington football team for workplace misconduct uncovered emails Gruden sent to the Washington general manager, Bruce Allen, where Gruden had used language deemed racist, misogynist, and homophobic in emails between 2011 and 2018. The emails allegedly referred to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell as a faggot and saying Goodell was a clueless anti-football pussy. Excuse my French, but these are his words. He also said Goodell shouldn't have pressured the Rams to draft queers, referring to Michael Sam, the first openly gay player drafted in NFL history. He reportedly also stated that players who protested the national anthem should be fired, specifically referring to Eric Reed. Gruden also called the then United States President Joe Biden a nervous, clueless pussy. Gruden also was receiving emails from Allen that contained photos of Washington cheerleaders who were forced to pose topless by the team during a photo shoot in Costa Rica. Now, let me just say this on the Michael Sam thing. Michael Sam couldn't play. Everybody thinks he's out of the league. People think he's out of the league because he's gay. No, he couldn't run. He wasn't effective. So you're saying Gruden's contract was guaranteed no matter if he coached 3 seasons or 10. Well, we don't know. Here's what the contract says. He is supposed to get, I know, a signing bonus after he got signing bonus, from my understanding, and incentives over a period of years, even I think somewhere up to 18 million, according to what ESPN was reporting. They actually removed him from the Ring of Honor. The Buccaneers removed him from the Ring of Honor. Damn. Now, even this, now, I would say this. Are we too sensitive as a nation with stuff? Hold on a second. Yeah. No, I didn't know about it. I don't think it's guaranteed that he's going to get 100 million. What it was that the contract is for 100 million for 10 years. So that basically means you make $10 million a year. He's going to get paid the remainder of his money. But I'm pretty sure these owners have contracts. If they don't, they're foolish, where they can back out of these clauses if something happens. There may be morality clauses, or if a person's fired. Remember, we're talking about tarnishing the shield, but that's what they do for players. But he was supposed to get even 18 million guaranteed. Either way, Gruden walks out fine. You know, he's not going to be starving for the rest of his life. But my thing is this. Gruden was not fired for that reason, for talking about black people. And the narrative, of course, has shifted. Now, I got to move on to the next topic. The narratives have shifted in talking about it, because when you look, I'm going back to this. This is ESPN's headline. They say John Gruden resigns as a Las Vegas head coach after a report of anti-gay, misogynistic language used in emails. They talk about anti-gay and misogynistic. They don't talk about the racial element in the headline, because that's what started it off. Do they? You don't mess with the LGBT and the mafia, the LGBTQA mafia was here. And they took out Gruden, over his comments, and they're going back 10 years over it. Now, I would not want, and I think even you deep down, and this is not me, of course, defending what John Gruden said or did, but going back 10 years, like I was even talking to my father about it. Could anybody go back in 10 years in our own stuff and fire us? Gruden is gonna find a job somewhere else. Trust me. If he's not if he's not coaching, something's gonna happen sometime later. He's gonna be working probably for Fox News. He'll become a contributor there. That Fox News or Fox Sports may have him come on there. Yeah, and the Oakland Raiders have a gay player on their team. And Michael Sam, being that he was gay, I mean, look, back in 2014, I remember when Michael Sam got drafted. He sucked. I don't mean suck like that, but I mean he sucked as a player. I know it's a double entr'acte. And Michael Sam, very interesting since we talk about Dave Chappelle and what happened. And shout out to Harvey Superboy. I just want to bring this up because Flame Monroe, who's it's a dude, but Flame Monroe is a comedian who's trans, was on Don Lemon's CNN last evening, and defended Dave Chappelle. See, Flame Monroe, but spoke about the racism that he faces, or this person faces, that they face in the LGBTQ community, which is something ignored. And Michael Sam even talked about that. He talked about more the racism he faced in the white LGBT versus the quote unquote homophobia he faced in the black community. And that gets often ignored. Excuse me. So, and let me say this, I think Gruden's emails, a lot of people, messing with the LGBTQ will get you fired. But here's the thing, Black Voltron, because you mentioned this earlier about the money being guaranteed. The emails were leaked out. If the NFL is doing an investigation into the Washington football team, if this investigation is ongoing, they should not have leaked that out. Investigations, they're very tight-lipped about how things happen. So the question is, how did it get out? So obviously, it got leaked. Yeah, leaker. Y'all stop it. But he did. He wasn't a great. He did. He really wasn't a great. He was not a great player. A lot of these openly gay players that they have, even the one for the Raiders, I don't know any good he's done. There have been gay players in the league before, but they, of course, never came out and said because of the backlash and controversy that'll flow from it. But we'll see where this happens. But Gruden's going to be fine. I think they just wanted to get rid of him, not to pay that money. That's what I think that was, because he really wasn't worth it to me. The guy was average at best. I don't think he was a coach like someone consistent like a Sean Payton or a Bill Belichick or anyone of that nature. But we'll see what happens. He'll find another job. All right. So next we got, I got to talk about this, and this is kind of close to home to me. And it also ties into something I was going to talk about earlier, and I'm going to all mesh it in about the importance of building on your own and growing, you're protecting your own brand, but also being self-sufficient. And last week, most people, I don't know if most people here, but St. Aug which is my alma mater, my high school here in New Orleans, is home of the Marching 100, and it is the only Black Catholic boys' high school in the state of Louisiana, one of the first in the country that was founded by the Josephites to give Blacks an education. Now, that was in 1951. And there were white teachers, of course, white priests that we had there. Mainly that's who ran it. You had Black priests as well. In fact, the only first Black priest in the country in the United States was August Tolson. And I actually have a book on him that I've started to read and haven't read yet. But basically about his life and how he came up to be where he was. And if I'm not mistaken, he's actually one of the, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, he actually is in talks to be, Augustus Tolton, I said Tolson, excuse me. He's in talks to be, I believe, the canonized as a saint. He might perhaps be the first Black man to be canonized, American to be canonized as a saint. And excuse me. And so when St. Aug was created, it was designed, for that purpose, as I stated. And you had earlier, Richard, this is what happened, apparently. So you have now, of course, since I'm telling you about the history of St. Aug a little bit, you also had and have in this situation Richard Branson. Now, I mentioned the band earlier. The Marching 100 is one of the most premier bands in the country. And St. Aug's band has performed for presidents. It's marched in the Rose Bowl. I believe it did the inauguration for, if I'm not mistaken, for Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and other presidents that they have performed for. The first to be in the Rose Bowl, first black marching band in the Rose Bowl. They were also performed for Pope John Paul II when he came to New Orleans. That was a treat. So what happened in the controversy that's going on, Richard Branson, who is a billionaire, Sir Richard Branson, I'll call him by his moniker, it's worth $4.4 billion. This is a man who owns an island, okay? And Branson, of course, is the owner of Virgin, the Virgin Company. They are known to have well, that's when you say who gave the Catholic Church. Well, they're the ones that have the premier authority on what qualifies them to sainthood and steps that it takes. Although there's the Greek Orthodox, but they are the first to actually do that. And of course, Augustus Tolton is actually considered venerable. First American saint we have here is Catherine Drexel. Now, what's interesting about Catherine Drexel, let me just give you some history, Byron B., is that Catherine Drexel opened up Xavier Prep and Blessed Sacrament, and she created Xavier University, which was designed to give education to Black and Native Americans. Most of your HBCUs, believe it or not, and we support our HBCUs, are actually named after whites. Even Howard University is named after a white Union general, if I'm not mistaken. You have a lot of these schools believe that or not, a lot of these schools, Spelman is named after a white person. So it's not like Black people, even though we try to stay, it's not like your HBCUs are fully Black in that. Although, yes, their design and grants were designed and created to give Blacks education where they could not go to other schools at that time due to segregation. Just a little history, though. But in dealing with that, I'm just focusing on this. Let me stick with this because I'm trying to do a little push for time here. All right. So Branson dons this uniform of the Marching 100, the color guard. And what happened, putting it in context, was that there was, he is opening one of his hotels in the Central Business District. And this happened this past Friday on October 7th. And so the band came out to perform. Now, I had no problem with that, myself personally. But what a lot of people, because we perform all the time, St. August performed for, like I described, a bunch of people. That doesn't upset a lot of people or me. But what raised a lot of people's eyebrows and people were commenting was that Branson actually got to put on the uniform and march with the band. Now, he's all off beat. And he's having a good time. Branson wrote, he loved strapping on the iconic outfit, complete with whistle and baton, and joining the Marching 100. Now, founded in 1951, St. Augustine High School is a private, historically Black Catholic school for boys. The Marching 100, as I stated, has performed in 5 Super Bowls for Pope John Paul II and 8 United States presidents, and in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the Tournament of Roses parades. They became the first black marching band to march in Rex in 1967. Yeah, Rex was hella racist back then, still mostly segregated to this day. So people were upset about that. The TV people kept telling me to keep my knees up, Branson said. So this has caused a lot of backlash, and the president of St. Augustine, who I know, Austin Taylor, released a statement, and I'm going to read that to you and share that with you all. Give me 1 second. Now, Tolson released this statement talking about he knew that there would be some type of backlash, and he said, he starts off by saying here, prior to the execution, my team and I had the opportunity to meet with several Virgin team members to create what we all hope will be a long-term partnership between our two illustrious organizations, and one that goes beyond an initial gift to our school. In doing so, we accepted a request from Sir Richard Branson's team to wear our iconic drum major uniform through the streets of New Orleans toward the opening ceremony of his wonderful establishment. In the end, it was a day of good cheer. Yet I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge some of the backlash we received from this decision. First, I want to note there have been been past times in our school's history where notable guests and outside participants have been allowed to utilize our distinctive assets. Yet I understand with the rise of social media and the unique position of Sir Branson, it made for big headlines and a social media frenzy, unlike we had seen with past guests. On one side, we had alumni and supporters who felt Sir Branson adorning our drum major uniform with honor across his millions of followers was great for the school and sets us apart as a global brand. Well, let me stop right there. Let me say that. St. Aug, and in respect to President Taylor, St. Aug has always been a global brand. We have performed, as I stated, if you perform for presidents, you perform for the Pope, St. Aug has been all over the world. So, what more branding do you need? Well, all good press, yeah, we continue to try and keep good press, I guess. So I have no issue with that. And you're trying to draw attention to the school. That's great. But let's go further. I'm going to finish reading this. I just wanted to point that out, that you're already a global brand. Now, we go further. I'm sorry, let me remove the comment so you all could see, because I'm sure this banner is in the way. Sorry. I reflected on the other side, this feeling was not welcome, and many of you expressed your displeasure and belief that no one should have the honor to wear the distinct drum major uniform without earning it as a student of St. Augustine. I can tell you, as being a student of St. Augustine and knowing drum majors, people that were in the band, that was not something that was given to you. You had to work for it. You had to earn it. And so I understand why some people who wore that and actually had to go through a lot of rigorous training with Mr. Hamp and Mr. Fields ran that. I remember when people, getting busted for being off key, being disciplined, things of that nature. That was not something easy. And those color guard uniforms, as the leaders, they had to be on code. They had to be in sync. I just know that from all the information I had. So what he's essentially saying is giving his reasons why Branson wore the uniform, and essentially he's talking about establishing a relationship with Sir Richard Branson and Virgin. He goes on to say, to that end, I submit to you that to that end, I submit to you that both sides are valid, and I will not be discredited. As a leader of our school, I accept full responsibility of all the mixed emotions experienced. At the end of the day, in all of my decisions that I will make and will make, I put our young men first and I focus on the benefit of their journey as Purple Knights. I will end my submission to you with this. My team and I will continue to stay in tradition while implementing innovative ways to tell our story. Friday's headlines brought first-time alumni contributors, new donors that had never seen or nor heard of us, and the school an opportunity to continue greater discussion with Sir Branson and team on how we can expand on our Burgundian relationship. Burgundy relationship. What Sir Richard Branson experienced as a one-time drum major last week was priceless to him. He shared his feelings across many platforms, including his personal blog. I implore you to read it. It's a true testament to the impact our young men have on others. As always, we shall prevail, Rise Sons, Alston G. Taylor. So he's essentially saying that he was trying to, or what they are doing, is trying to continue to establish what he hopes. Now, this is what he writes, they met previously to create what we would hope was a long-term partnership between the two organizations. Now, I don't know what took place supposedly in this meeting with Sir Richard Branson and the people at St. Aug. And this goes to a larger argument or larger conversation for what's going on with our HBCUs. Now, tying that all in, this is what I have to say. Personally, if it was going to be something to if it would build a relationship, I understand that. And I understand the idea. We have to get accustomed, especially as Black people, to not be so emotional with things and look at the bigger picture. The game is chess, not checkers. And if it's going to move the needle forward on certain things, I have no problem with outside donors or whites giving us money. However, you better secure the bag first and make sure the deal is locked up before you do all of that. Now, I don't want to repeat any rumors because I want to give you all facts. And so far, I can only tell you because I've talked to people and heard what they have had to say. I have, from what I've been hearing, most of what I have been hearing, of course, there's a lot of people like, oh yeah, he did this, did that. I have not heard of him necessarily. I have not seen any evidence. This is just me. And this is the best way I can phrase this. Evidence that Mr. Branson, Sir Branson, gave monies to school. If they have said it, they have not said what amount he's given, what he has contributed. I'm hearing that he hasn't even gotten, I have not heard of him giving any scholarships or anything. What they said is they met and hoped that they could continue their Burgundian relationship, to continue to have a strong relationship with this man. Burgeoning relationship with Mr. Branson, something that would grow. Now, I'm sure he'll remember that for the rest of his life. Temporarily, hey, I did this. It's recorded. But Richard Branson is worth $4.4 billion. He owns an island. If he did not, I'm just saying my personal opinion, if he did not promise to give any monies to the school, if he did not even volunteer to set up scholarship programs for these young Black men that are going there, or if he didn't promise to give them jobs or even to come speak one day to the school, to these students, we just got played. And I say that to say with Black people, especially, we do this shit all the time. I'm ranting now, where everything is about entertainment with us. It's like what Paul Mooney said about Flip Wilson. When Flip Wilson was in his early days of stand-up, was hitching a ride to shows back and forth, and he got a ride from this white man, and this white man said, "What do you do for a living?" And he said, "Well, I'm a Negro entertainer." He said, "Aren't you all?" That's what the white man said. And we got to learn how to secure the bag. When we can see, it's like what we got to learn how to do business on both sides. We got to learn not to be so emotional, but we also got to learn that if we're going to outside sources about being on code, we also got to be able to leverage something in order to get it. It's a failure for what's happening now. You see what's happening now with regards to this election with the president, with Biden, and what he's doing with HBCUs, cutting money from these schools, and these schools are begging for money. We're always in a position of where we got to go ask somebody for something. And we need to learn how to be independent and support ourselves and each other. I have no problem if you go into outside sources. And I also know some of the same people who are complaining about St. Aug giving Branson, having Sir Branson wear St. Aug marching colors. They would be pissed off or jealous. I'm sure if he went to Jesuit or Brother Martin, if they had been asked to have their band perform for him, I'll say that. Yeah, I'll concede that. But the state of our Black institutions now are in positions where when we're talking about money, and this is another thing, if some people, like I started earlier, and I said I had mixed emotions about this, if some people have a problem with this, then what you also should do, like I said, go in your wallet, look for some cash, or go open up your checkbook. Hell, you don't even have to sign checks anymore. Go on PayPal or Zelle or Cash App. When St. Aug, every year we request for donations, go and do one. If you don't want to keep seeing stuff like that. Of course, St. Aug was trying to secure the bag. And it was, it's publicity too. Voltron. It was some free publicity because you have a multi-billionaire in town that is drawing attention to your school. So on one side is a smart business idea, but the cultural aspect of it, seeing them wearing our uniforms, I get that too. That's something that's a uniform like that. There's a lot of honor and pride and dignity in it. It's not something to be clowned on. It's just like if you got someone dressed up in a military uniform and they didn't serve. That would be an insult to the veterans who risked their lives. Now, of course, our boys at St. Aug, when I was coming up there, they didn't necessarily risk their lives. They risked their ass if they messed up. It's like being in a fraternity, like Darius said. I have no problem getting something tangible out of it, but I've just been hearing, I can only go by what I've heard, that it's not what I thought it was. I'll put this, I haven't seen the evidence of anybody saying, I don't want to say that Black Voltron necessarily, because I don't know what was said behind closed doors. So because it is my alma mater, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now, because it does give publicity. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's not forget, I wanted to show you this before I get on to the next topic. I'll never forget, look, the first Black president, Barack Obama, I want you to look at this. This is Chicago Tribune. Look at the title of this. Y'all remember when this happened? You see this yet? Trump's pardon of Jack Johnson, a jab to Obama's legacy. Now, funny, we talk about Jack Johnson, especially when we're talking about R. Kelly and the Mann Act, but the first so-called first Black president had an opportunity to pardon this man Jack Johnson, and he didn't do it. And it took a Republican, who we call a racist president, to do this. It took a Republican, orange, racist president that we all say to do this. And bear in mind, at least I can say this, Donald Trump actually want to fund HBCUs longer, obviously, than what Joe Biden is doing. Donald Trump is not the president anymore. Joe Biden is, and he's talking about cutting HBCU spending. He had a chance to do it, and Trump did it because Sylvester Stallone, you read this, asked him to do it. And I know Sylvester Stallone got caught from what Tariq Nasheed had that video saying one time something racial, like he said nigger to one of the reporters from TMZ, called him a nigger. It sounded like, I couldn't hear it too well. But even though it's symbolic in nature, yes, the fact that he did it for Jack Johnson's family, I applaud that. See, I don't know. So I don't know if the bag was necessarily secure, because when President Taylor, from what he's describing in that email, he says that, let's go back and look at it. I had the opportunity to meet with several Virgin team members to create what we all hope will be a long-term partnership between our two illustrious organizations, and one that goes beyond an initial gift to our school. So it doesn't necessarily sound like they got a donation. It doesn't sound like a donation was made. I don't know. It doesn't sound like. I'm not saying for sure. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for now. Black Voltron, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. If it's publicity, that's fine. I have no problem with it. Okay? It's not like Big Daddy Kane going naked with Madonna to promote her book. You know, that ruined his career. The brother was never the same when he did that happen. I don't think it was, I'm not putting them on the coon train. We're not doing that. No. I just want to give them, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt tonight. If it's free publicity, yeah, I'm absolutely for it. Now, I'm not comparing it to the same thing, but remember this, even Marcus Garvey met with the Ku Klux Klan to move things forward with blacks and whites as far as staying separate. Now, I wouldn't dare call Marcus Garvey a coon. I wouldn't. Malcolm X, even the Nation of Islam, I believe, had met with the Ku Klux Klan at one point. I wouldn't call them sellouts, but I certainly don't support the Klan. And I'm not comparing Richard Branson to the Klan. I just want to make that clear. But the point being is that people do business. There's something called strange bedfellows. And people do business all the time with people you wouldn't think. It happens, and that's part of doing business. It makes for strange bedfellows. So am I necessarily saying I understand him wearing the color guards to those that served in the band, why it was bad? And if they didn't get anything tangible out of it and secured anything, I would have a problem with it. Yes, I agree. I just don't know too much of the details to give you that information. All I know is I have not seen evidence directly. No one has told me directly if Mr. Branson gave any monies, if Branson gave any monies to St. Aug. I don't know how much he gave. I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't heard what he's going to set up, if he's going to set up scholarships or employment opportunities for the seniors, or even to do a talk with the students. You know, this is a multi-billionaire. And look, St. Aug has graduated multi-millionaires. And let me just say this. Let's look at there's some black millionaires we could get to St. Aug. Arnold Donald. Arnold Donald is the CEO of Carnival Cruise Lines. He went to St. Aug. We've had Harold Sylvester. You've had John Baptiste, who's the Late Show musical director. John was in my class at St. Aug. We're the same class, 2004. I couldn't tell you anything about him, I never spoke to the Negro other than we were in music class once, but I don't know him personally. I couldn't call him on the phone, but that's Arnold Donald. I learned today too, one of the richest black men in the United States is this man. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna share this because we got to move on because I got to get out of here in a second. But where is that photograph? Where is that post? The second richest black man in the United States. This man right here. How do you say black? Yeah, Tyler Perry made $1 billion. Dave Stewart. He's the second richest African American, Black American. He's ranked 239th on the Forbes 400 list. He owns, this is him here. He is the chairman and founder of Worldwide Technology out of St. Louis. This is what so I like to see men like Mr. Donald give monies, and I'm sure he has. But this is somebody who I would like to see even come to St. Augustine. I want to see some black billionaires too. It's fine to have Richard Branson, but let's have some black billionaires. David Stewart, where you at? Robert Smith, this is David Stewart. I just learned about him. Let's look at Robert Smith. Come on. Chairperson of Vista Equity Partners. Robert Smith. Let's bring him up. He took care of the scholarships he got to take care of my student loans, please. Mr. Smith, please come to Louisiana. Personally, I'm calling you since I've called you. If you come to St. Augustine, take care of those brothers. Please take care of me for once if you can. I'm just saying, I got to throw that out. No, but yeah, well, let's have some black billionaires and millionaires come to St. Augustine and contribute. That would be great. That would be wonderful. I'm calling them out. We're putting their money where their mouth is. We're going to call them out tonight. Let's do that. Reach one, teach one, reach one. Come on. All right. But let's move on. I got my last topic I want to talk about because I got to get out of here is redevelopment here in New Orleans. Some local issues I told you I was going to discuss. So this happened yesterday. I found out that the old Six Flags site, which is out here in New Orleans East, is potentially getting a new life. The city council and the city approved for this project Bayou Phoenix that is set to develop. We don't know when, but they have to go through some work.
After well over a decade.
This coming from, of course, WLTV. For the latest news, let's listen to WWLTV.
It looks like someone will finally be able to develop the old Six Flags Jazzland site. We learned today a proposal by a group called Bayou Phoenix is now moving forward. Comes after another group that included Drew Brees withdrew its bid. But as Paul Dudley reports, Brees Group could have it.
By the way, fair use in Act 1976 allows for copyrighted material to be used by another person for purposes of commentary, news, and education only. So I claim fair use.
Its eyes on another space.
For 16 years, the site has been sitting here dormant, but now plans are moving forward to redevelop the site, and it's not the only project expected for New Orleans East.
The old Six Flags and Jazzland site, long abandoned after Hurricane Katrina, has certainly seen better days. A place where memories were once made has been virtually forgotten, but now it finally looks like there is a viable plan in place to see something new here.
Today, we have some significant changes coming to New Orleans East, coming to the city of New Orleans that will benefit all of us.
On Monday, Mayor LaToya Cantrell announced developer Bayou Phoenix was picked to redevelop the site. Plans call for multiple uses, including a logistics hub warehouse, water park, a hotel, and travel center.
We're really excited that we're moving forward a step closer to where once a place where family really enjoy, that we'll see that very soon.
The city says the Bayou Phoenix Group has the ability and financial backing to complete the project. Drew Brees and his group, Kiernan West LLC and Shield One, had been vying for the opportunity but withdrew their bid. However, on Monday it was announced the group will receive another chance at an alternate spot in New Orleans East to build their project, an urban farm, a series of educational centers, and a transportation and logistics hub.
I've always been in a position where I've wanted to try to address the greatest needs of the city.
During an appearance at a fitness club, Brees didn't go into details, but says he's committed to creating a project that will spur economic development and create jobs.
Whether we end up doing anything with Jazzland or not, we are still looking for opportunities to be able to address all those needs in New Orleans East.
Over the years, there have been a number of proposals for the area, but none have worked out. Don Aber, the president of the East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission, is hopeful the city will be able to execute both plans.
We're hoping the city did their due diligence, in going through the finances to ensuring that they can complete this project.
In New Orleans East, Paul Dudley, Eyewitness News.
So the city says it's going to be finalizing plans for both projects over the next 90 days. After that, we should have a better idea when crews might be able to break ground.
Okay. Now, let me stop that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find something, guys. Give me 1 second. Now, you would think I'd be jumping for joy if I saw something like this, because ooh, goody goody, they're going to bring something to New Orleans East. Now, I'm of the position of believing it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. Now, my father for years before this idea even came forward, wanted to create and talked about creating a new city of New Orleans, a new New Orleans East. We actually did the groundwork of how much it would cost to separate from the city, what we would get out of it, what we want to do, because New Orleans East in general is very valuable in property. In 2012 alone, we were pulling in taxes of over $270 million, $40 million in sales tax, and you had $200 in property tax, $220 in property tax, and I have all of those figures. And what I would like to do next time, I was actually trying to pull it up if I could while I was on here. We actually had the PowerPoint presentation, but this is the same shit we were talking about, what they're discussing with Bayou Phoenix. My father for years talked about putting up an amphitheater. We talked about building water parks. We met with people in the groundwork and what it would take to actually separate from the East. And we even talked about, my dad talked about getting, SeaWorld out here in New Orleans where old Six Flags was, which would have been perfect. But, around that time, I believe they had that incident where that trainer from SeaWorld was killed by Shamu. So all of that stuff was going on. And I think SeaWorld got a black eye, of course, over that because someone was killed, sadly. And I got so frustrated. So Bayou Phoenix, and I did, and I'll say this publicly, I initially supported it because I thought we could get any type of development. But, something like this project, notice it was that the city approved it. But then they wanted, months ago, when this was being voted on, they wanted Drew Brees' thing still attached to it. Now, I don't know what Drew Brees did, and first and foremost, I don't know what Drew Brees did to his hairline because it's restored miraculously from when he was playing. Now, this is Bayou Phoenix. This is the video that they had.
For 16 years, our city has waited.
Again, I claim fair use.
For greatness to emerge behind these locked gates. Now, the wait is over, New Orleans. It's time to let good times roll.
New Orleans, this is the future site of your new Bayou Phoenix, led by the New Orleans East-based development team of Henry Consulting
and TKTMJ, a team New Orleans knows and trusts to deliver on their projects.
We've got the experience, the financing,
and the commitment to take this project from this to this. A 100-acre sports complex managed by SFA, the leading worldwide authority in sports tourism and development. A transportation hub and logistics center. A year-round indoor water park run by one of the biggest names in water park resorts. A nationwide mega travel center. A championship golf course at Eastover. And a year-round partnership with STEM Nolan.
Now, that one, let me pause it. That one is interesting about Eastover. Now, Eastover is the subdivision I live in, and it's privately owned. So I don't know how that works out by having Eastover, the golf club, being a part of something not far in that area. Not a part of that area, not tied with it, how that's tied in. So that is something that has raised, eyebrows. But let me continue.
I'm Troy Henry, a proud New Orleans East resident. Henry Consulting is one of the largest Black-owned firms in Louisiana, and we have a proven track record of success in the city and the state.
TKTMJ is proudly based in New Orleans East, and we are the largest private developer in the East. The Lake Forest Manor community is now under construction, and the Capto home is now home to 80 senior residents.
And Bayou Phoenix's partnership with Hillwood means this project has the funding to become a reality.
We see the potential this project has to become an economic engine for the East and the entire city. Hillwood has established an unparalleled record of success with public-private partnerships and master plan developments. And we're eager to advance with Henry Consulting and TKTMJ.
So New Orleans, get ready for something big.
Economic development,
better paying jobs, higher property values,
a new sports complex,
a water park, a better New Orleans East. Bayou Phoenix.
STEM Nolan is ready for Bayou Phoenix.
Led by a strong, local, and nationally recognized development team, we're ready for a Jazzland rebirth at Bayou Phoenix. For 16 years, our city has waited.
So that's the trailer. That was the project that they have. And that is a multi-million-dollar project that my sources, from what I have supposedly heard, is supposed to be worth about $500 million. So that is a lot of money, if I'm to put forward. I've heard that. I don't know how true if that is the actual estimate, but you think about it, putting it together, that area is abandoned. You're talking about man labor, hiring construction workers, tearing all of the stuff down. You're going to have to tear down a roller coaster that Jazzland had, or that was actually Six Flags New Orleans. I've only went there once, sadly, but a lot of good times that people that worked there remember it. And that's been sitting there for 16 years. Now, am I supposed to jump for joy and say goody goody because for 16 years after all of that time of abandonment and neglect in this area, and you still have continued to treat us like a redhead stepchild, am I supposed to jump for joy? What say you guys? Are we supposed to jump for joy and I should be skinning and grinning because of this? We wanted to form our own city. And, we had some similar, I'm not going to say we had some similar ideas. My father certainly talked about building hotels along Lake Catherine, around Lake Bourne. We've talked about that. That has been on public record since 2012. My father openly talked about it. He had those ideas. And what's up, Phantom Beat, Rashana? And so that's good if it's going to bring economic development. But anything bad happens, it's going to come out. But I found it interesting, in particular, that when these projects were being, and I was listening to the RFP a few months ago, the city put everything on hold and wanted to make Drew Brees' project, his urban farming, somehow a reality still in New Orleans East. They wanted to find something for him. And what was interesting is that the majority of the people did not want it. We did not want it. But the city still voted. And look, they still found something for him to come out in the East, a consultation prize. They gave him a consultation prize still. And my man, shout out to John Winthrop, brother who has his own brewing company. You know, I don't know what area that's going to be in. John and I was talking about, we don't know what area that's going to be in, particularly because, you know, he's still having his issues trying to get his brewery company started. He has his company, but he wants to set up a plant right in New Orleans East. And that area where he's at, that may be the only place zone where Breeze could come at. From what he looked at, unless the zoning commission changes something. But that hasn't been developed. And John and his family, because his family owned, he is the only Black brewer in the South. And he's been trying to develop this for years. We don't even have a movie theater out here in New Orleans East. We got to go as far as Chalmette. You got to go to Ketter. You got to Ormenery. You got to go to Slidell if you want to enjoy yourself. You want to go to a movie theater, you go to the Grand out in Slidell. The Grand used to be right here in New Orleans East. They moved to Slidell. They moved to Ketter. I'm supposed to be happy for this. I can, yeah. Well, yeah, he was part of the firm, and there was stuff that was coming out because it's not just Drew Brees. I believe Steve Smith, the wide receiver, was part of it. Demario Davis was also in on it, who's the linebacker for the Saints. They had some type of deal, I guess, being the faces of a project that they had. And whatever firm that came in that was going to help do some financial backing at that point, they weaseled out of it. And they decided, obviously, to go with this project with Bayou Phoenix. And from one even at the press conference, you know, they actually didn't even bring Troy Henry. And here's the thing, too. They didn't even bring Troy Henry, I think, to that press conference to introduce him and what they were doing when the mayor spoke. From the WWL TV video you saw, that press conference, he didn't even come out there, to my knowledge. From what the news reports I've heard. But neither here nor there. All that being said, what do you think? Should we be, if you're out in New Orleans East, if you're out here with me, are you excited about this? I'm of the belief of I'll believe it when I see it. And we will see what really happens, because I can tell you already, the homeless people that they have out here, the people that are under the 610 bridge, 510 bridge, the streetwalkers we see on Chef Mentor Highway, the poor neighborhoods, the dilapidated houses, the blight, something's going to happen in this area. It's already happening. It's set in stone. You just don't know it yet. This area, you know, we don't own stuff as Black people. And, you know, this is an opportunity which we could actually get stuff. We could actually get stuff and see what happens. We could buy the block if we wanted to. We got enough vacant land to do that. And, you know, unfortunately, it's not being done. We don't put our priorities straight. It's like when we talk about ideas and we're talking about fulfillment and tying all of this in, if you don't, unfortunately, the way our society works is that if you don't have money, you're not shit. That's what society is. If you don't make more than six figures, you ain't shit. If you can't get millions of dollars, you can't build projects like that. Your visions. If you're not a multi-millionaire, billionaire, or have somebody of that status backing you up. You can have all the great ideas in the world, but it won't get made into fruition unless you have money. Well, I mean, yes, it could bring this thing, yeah, I hear them saying it will bring jobs to the area. We need economic development. Fine. I want movie theaters. I want not just movie theaters. We got areas to build television studios. We have a place out here off the service road. I know could be could be a film and studio company. You could shoot films on it, a sound stage. There's a lot of real estate development that could take place in the East. And the thing too is we also got to be willing to support each other. Like I said, with St. Aug, with our HBCUs. We got to put our money where our mouth is. Buy the block back. Do what Nipsey was trying to do or did. By the way, I don't want to get back on subjects, but I wanted to point something out before the end of the broadcast because I'm gonna wrap it up in a minute. But I heard that Tony Dungy, that the NFL, they went to Dungy about Gruden's comments and how he should feel. But the person Gruden, and I've neglected to mention this, should be apologizing to, should have been D. Smith. Not having Tony Dungy talk about it. Because I'm seeing here Dungy was it sounded like Dungy was trying to take up for John Gruden. I'm just learning this. I'm looking at this page here someone sent me. Or I'm looking at that was on someone's post. Yeah, it was 10 years ago. But yeah, hold on. Let me look at this.
And I'm not going to chalk everything up to racism. I think we accept his apology, move forward, and move on just like he did with his team.
Yeah, I think in being honest with the audience, I should weigh in a little bit here because I was with John at that time.
That's Mike
7 years as
Tirico
my partner
and
on Monday
Tony
Night
Dungy.
Football. I probably know John better than anybody in the league on a personal level. He said it right. He was ashamed by the comments in the email. The comments in the email are wrong. But my experience kind of parallels Tim Brown, who played for John, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He said he never experienced or saw anything that would say John was racist in any way. That is exactly the experience I had those 7 years of traveling 3 days together on the road every week. So the story will continue to play out. The league may weigh in. The team may weigh in.
Oh, Lord. I mean, look, I don't know what Mike Tirico's experience is. There's a reason he got kicked off ESPN, but yeah, he faced backlash. Tony Dungy. Okay, so he clarified because he made those comments about that one incident, but he's saying now that he's seen more emails, he said, I can't defend that either, and they did the right thing in terminating him. But Bomani Jones let him have it. Dungy with Trump. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. But that doesn't surprise me. That's Tony. Oh, Lord. You know the memes were going to come out with that Remember, Kaepernick's girlfriend did that with Ray Lewis. All right. But yeah, we're going to see where this goes. But look, I'm trying to put up something. I seriously want to buy a block of land here in New Orleans East and development and put businesses out there. That's something I want to do. That's how we combat gentrification. Get a team of us, of black businessmen, the best top black businessmen here. Real black businessmen, people who have monies, and buy a block of land in any major city, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Chicago, New Orleans, Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles, wherever, and put your businesses there and do business with each other, support each other. That's how it goes. Otherwise, we will have gentrification coming, more of it coming. I remember Dr. Claude Anderson tried to put something up years ago here in New Orleans, trying to get off of Aretha Castle Haley, trying to get black businesses going and building an economic block. And he got shut down by Negroes because people didn't want to deal with it. And a lot of our elders, we just got to say this, they have failed us. This generation, this older generation, they have failed in regards that they became complacent and compliant with stuff. They weren't looking to live. They were looking to survive. Some of these Negroes in the civil rights movement, they were not looking to make real changes for their children and grandchildren. They were looking to survive. They were looking to make change in their pockets. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm not going to go any further, guys, because I got to wrap it up. I got somewhere to be in a little bit. But this was a great broadcast. So we're going to keep all this stuff in mind, guys. Speaking of supporting black businesses, think about what I said about getting a block land, buying back the block, as we say, because there's power in numbers. Get a team of you all there, talk about it, and do some research on it first. And see what comes about of it. But let's get ourselves together. I got to wrap this up. But speaking of supporting black businesses, I ask if you please donate to the Cash App at the bottom, at the PayPal. Shout out to Darius for his contribution to the channel. I appreciate you, brother. Excuse me. I thank you for that. Darius from Atlanta. I also want to give a shout out. I haven't seen her in a while, but I'm sure she's at work. Black Mama, wherever you are, I hope you are doing safe and blessed. Rosalind, if you're doing safe, I pray for your safety, honey. I hope you're doing okay. I haven't seen you in a while. Anybody knows where Rosalind is? Getting together with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's not going to work with me. I don't know. I don't know Tyler Perry. But you see, we can't just rely on us. You know, even though I would be a hypocrite if I said not relying on your celebrities, because I did call out for them to support. But we can't rely and do things waiting on those that are wealthier than us also to help us out. The Chinese community doesn't wait for Jackie Chan to help them out. Asians don't wait on Jackie Chan to do stuff. They go out and do it. You know, Italians didn't wait for Frank Sinatra to do stuff. They did. Hey, it was just a thought. I've heard some things about Mr. Perry by somebody not so good, but I don't know Tyler, and I'm Tyler Perry. And you know, Tyler's based down in Atlanta, but you know he's from here. Master P would be somebody good to reach out to. Master P actually I know he has his restaurant that he's put out here across the West Bank, but also look what he's doing with his family. His sons have gotten even endorsement deals. His youngest son, who's playing for HBCU, I believe got an endorsement deal for him since he's playing football for a college. I don't know what college Master P's son is playing, but he got a multi-million-dollar deal. His young son, Hersey Miller, he's a basketball player. I apologize. I said football. Yeah. He got a $2 million endorsement deal with a tech company called Web Apps America. So by the time he's going into college, he's already a millionaire. That's what I'm talking about. You know, he has his rap snacks. You know, Master P, you can say whatever you want about him, about his stuff being hood, but Master P, he went from nothing to something. He's an entrepreneur. He actually handled business. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed did, and we had people criticizing him. You know, I've never seen, let me say this about Tariq. I don't know why people get upset with Tariq, but he's a businessman. He's done positive things. What's wrong with a museum? I didn't get why I get why there's jealousy, there's criticism of it, but he's doing something real with that. It can be done. Master P is proving that it can be done. Then he would be a great possibility to get with, yeah. But just look at this. Let me just share this before I leave and get out of here. And hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you love this channel, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the deal with Master P's son that he signed, $2 million, Tennessee State. Since take advantage of the NCAA change rules. Yeah, 19 years old. Yeah, because now these guys can get endorsements. That's big. Look what Deion Sanders is doing for Jackson State. Yeah, so shout out to Master P. I can support that. I can support that. I'm with it. But yeah, he might be a good person. Is it wrong to talk to him? Never wrong. You know, old girl, Kaleidoscope, Big Booty Judy, who's the Bratz woman, is actually she had her office out here in the East. Her shipping company, that was in the East. It's not there anymore. But Kaleidoscope, yeah, that was based out here. So yeah. So guys, if you like this channel, please subscribe to it. As Black Voltron has stated, please donate to the Cash App if you can. Gavin Richard Esquire, Google Pay, PayPal, at those links at the bottom. And yeah, Master P is handling business. He's an excellent Black businessman. You're right. You're right. Also, if you would like, please check out our seasoning company, KnownAsCreoleBlends.com. Black Voltron, you haven't ordered yours yet. Go ahead and order some. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonny's goes great with every dish. Video Soul. Check out Video Soul. That's my latest single on Apple, iTunes. It's available also on Spotify, but it'd be better if you go to iTunes and purchase that if you could. And also, as we have gotten on down, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to get back on up. So that is my single that is available on Spotify, Amazon.com. You can listen to them, stream those songs. It's available even here on YouTube if you want to go ahead and listen to it. But it's time to wrap this up. You guys be safe and be blessed. We'll be back Thursday. Oh, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, and I almost forgot. Hold on. I got excellent news. I got some big news for y'all. We're going to have a special double header this Thursday on Random Topic Thursdays, because I will not only be doing a live stream with Sean James that night, but I will have, and we're going to welcome our special guest, Steven Singular. He is the director, the author of the book Legacy of Deception that I was telling you about. And thanks to the advice of Mr. Garrett Gregory, he will be on this Thursday at, get my times right. He will be on, Steve Singular will be on this coming Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, at 4:30 Central Time, 3:30 Mountain Time, which would be 2:30 Pacific Time, and 5, I know it's a lot, but 4:30 my time, Central Standard Time, which is 5:30 in Eastern Standard Time. Steve Singular, author of Legacy of Deception, will be on here at 4:30 p.m. this Thursday, followed by my regular platform with Sean James at 8 o'clock Central Time. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. That is going to be a great show. But yeah, check it out. I will put a reminder and I will send a flyer out so everybody will know, so we can promote the crap out of this. But Steve Singular, I'm excited about having him come on, talking about Legacy of Deception. That will be a great program. In the meantime, guys, so I'm going to get on out of here while we're going to get on up. You guys be safe and be blessed. Love y'all. I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you achieve. And so if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.